Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. So the Cowboys lost the football game yesterday to the Arizona Cardinals, 25-22. Had some time to process. Want to share my thoughts with you guys. We're going to break it all down and why I'm not panicking. Why I actually prefer the Cowboys in more of an underdog type slot than as the favorites. But before I get into that, I want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Please hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Hit the notification bell to keep up with all the latest updates anytime I post, stories we're doing on YouTube, all the content we got going on. We're trying to get to 12,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate it. If you guys can help me get there. Also, we are on TikTok now. So everybody that's subscribed, if you're part of all the Noti gang, everything, and you have a TikTok account or you want to start a TikTok account, go follow us on TikTok. I love that platform. I'm trying to build up my brand over there as well. More short form ideas and concepts we're working on there. We have a couple videos up now, but we're going to continue to churn up the TikTok as well. And want to make a very special thank you to our sponsor, BUSR, busr.com/fanatic. Hit that promo code sports100FP. When you go to the busr.com/fanatic site, it'll look like this. You'll see that 100% free play promo code bonus on there. So go ahead and take advantage of that now. I hit on some cool player prop bets that they got going on there right now. Last night, Green Bay, Minnesota, especially to make up for the Michigan-Georgia fiasco that I had on New Year's. So, Aaron Rodgers over 262 passing yards check. Aaron Jones over 18.5 receiving yards check. And Devontae Adams over 87.5 receiving yards check. So I had all those last night and really enjoying the player prop bets as I felt comfortable betting on those. Shout out to BUSR. As for the boys, so I'm going to be very, very blunt here, right? We played D-plus football yesterday. We lost by 3 points. Sky's not falling. And I know, people are acting as though this is the old days where we're 8-8 and, limping into the playoffs or things of that sort. But we came off of an undefeated December, winning 4 straight football games. I'm also not going to entertain the conversation of, well, we don't beat good teams and all this type of stuff, as if we didn't beat the New England Patriots, as if we didn't beat the Chargers back when people had the Chargers in the top 5 in their power rankings, because it's also about when you played people and what the narrative was going into those games. I'm not going to act like we didn't go toe-to-toe, blow for blow with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on opening night. I'm not entertaining that narrative, right? We've played 6 playoff teams so far as of right now with the ranking stand. We're 3-3 against playoff teams. That's the reality of it, right? You can't get to 11-5, which is what our record is through 16 games. You cannot get to 11-5 only beating bums. It's only a 32-team league. This isn't college football. We're not beating up and feeding on G5 teams. And if we're going to go down the narrative with the NFC East, we've played 5 NFC East games, not 10. With this Arizona loss and Tampa Bay loss in week 1, we're 9-2 in the conference. Sky is not falling. Now, in order for us to get to where we want to go in the playoffs, and where we want to go long-term goals, yes, we have to beat good teams. We're all aware of that. Right now, we're about a 500 football team against the good teams, which are the playoff teams, which is consistent record for most of the teams that are in the same boat that we are. That issue or that narrative is not exclusive to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, in regards to the Arizona game, I believe with everything I saw, shout out to Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray, Vance Joseph. They played desperate football. They played better football. They were a team that had lost 3 straight games coming in to play us. And they threw the kitchen sink at us at all offense, defense, special teams, fake punts, roll coverages all over the place, Buda Baker blitzes. And that's what Arizona does. Let's not get it twisted. And tactics that Cliff used to get Mike McCarthy to burn and time out and being a step ahead of Mike, being a step ahead of Kellen, being a step ahead of Dan Quinn. Arizona deserves credit for all of that. They went to Arlington and won that football game yesterday. But I'm not going to sit up here and act like we can't compete or go out and take this team out. Even Kyler Murray, as effective as he was, and using his legs in a timely manner, hitting on some of his deep play action shots when he had the opportunity, had a little bit better accuracy than I thought Dak Prescott showed for the most part in terms of their quarterback matchup. I believe if we play him again with what we've seen and what he's also seen from the speed of our defense, I think we can beat Arizona in a playoff game. Like I actually feel comfortable right now as we sit in the 4 hole. If we get them in a 4-5 matchup, we'll have to see how we decide to handle the Philadelphia situation. If we want to play starters or rest people, I actually think we should probably do a mix of a little. I'd actually continue to play Dak, try to keep him sharp. But I probably rest Zeke and Tyron and some of the other guys. But all the talk, the hubbub about the offensive woes, right? Starting with the quarterback. Quarterbacks miss throws. Yes, I'm frustrated that Dak missed that en route to Amari Cooper to keep the chains moving. And then a field goal kicker who also missed kicks in the other NFC game we lost against Tampa Bay. He goes and misses a 43-yard field goal at home indoors with no adverse conditions, right? So, yeah, I need Dak Prescott to make that throw. Clean enough pocket. Yeah, I need Dak Prescott to hit the 5-yard curl that he missed to Amari at one point and another curl that he missed to Dalton Schultz. But am I going to say that he played this awful football game that people are trying to drive? I actually thought Dak was also the reason why we were competitive at the end of the game, right? Because he doesn't get credit for the dimes he throws or when he rolls left or some of the plays that he can check us into and some of the things he can do to keep drives going. And I appreciate the fact that he's starting to use his legs a little bit more, but he's not been his normal, great to almost elite type self. He's not playing in that manner right now. And we're going to need him to step up his play, especially considering the fact we're not a very good running football team right now. Right. So, we have Ezekiel Elliott, who, is one of the highest paid running backs in the NFL. We have an offensive line who everybody always loves to talk about. Oh, the Cowboys offensive line is this and that. Cowboys offensive line has not been run dominant in years. These are just facts, okay? Especially going back to the days where, and some of y'all remember 2016, even 2017, you can turn around on the 3rd and 2, 4th and 1 and hand the football off. 4th and 1s yesterday, I think we converted, or 4th and shorts, I think we converted 3 of them yesterday. All of them were either through the air, and the other one was the quarterback having to run in a zone read scenario. God bless Dak for even getting back to the point health-wise a year later where he can do that. But that's how we're moving the chains in short yardage. It's not running the football. As a matter of fact, our leading rush yesterday was Dak Prescott with 20 yards. We don't have the physicality up front that I saw last night from the Green Bay Packers against Minnesota. And what I've seen from Green Bay throughout this year, where they're able to hand the football off to Aaron Jones and get outside zone, and then also hand the football off to A.J. Dillon to gash people inside. We don't run the football like that. And because we don't run the football like that, people are able, like Vance Joseph and like some of the other defenses, i.e. Denver, are able to keep guys back, not load the box, and do all these exotic coverages that not only slow down Dak, but also the receivers. Because people want to talk about the weapons. We got weapons. People aren't getting separation. Now, that's also indicative of Kellen Moore and this coaching staff. Don't see the adjustments necessary that are being made to whether it's getting CeeDee Lamb in more motion, getting Amari Cooper some easier stuff. I know, yes, we missed a couple of Amari, but there's also times where, Amari doesn't make a better effort to get after the football. Amari doesn't play in cold weather. There's a lot of things that Amari doesn't do that Devontae Adams is doing or Jamar Chase is doing and some of the better guys are doing. So we also got to be careful about overrating these weapons. I think their weapons are good football players, but yesterday the person I saw getting the most separation was Cedric Wilson. And that's after because his powers increase whenever Michael Gallup's not there. By the way, shout out to Michael Gallup. Please get well soon. Suck to lose MG, especially catching the back shoulder, because he actually gives us a skill set and ability to attack the football in one-on-ones that the other guys don't seem to have, or not don't seem to have, but they can't do it the way MG does it. And that's his gift, right? And so all these receivers have gifts and traits and stuff. But right now, that is not being capitalized by one Kellen Moore, by one Dak Prescott, by one Mike McCarthy. That brain trust there, even Doug Nussmeier as well. They're struggling as a group and even utilizing everybody because schematically, when you come out and you're giving away these receiver screens and these bubble screens because Dalton Schultz can't block, and when you put Jeremy Sprinkle in, it's a dead giveaway, and the safety can just come over there and cheat. These are things that me, as a football fan on the couch, am seeing. These are things that Troy Aikman, even though Troy Aikman, he's having an off season and he's in a slump because he's over here telling people that Ezekiel is a home run threat, which is bullshit. And he's over here telling people that Robert Woods is a top 3 receiver, which is bullshit. But if Troy Aikman can see these things happening in the booth, I can see these things happening. Why can't Kellen Moore see that? Why can't Dak Prescott see that and convey feedback to the sideline? Where's Mike McCarthy in those situations? Got to be better across the board. That's what worries me in the playoffs. It's not the talent. It's not what we can do. I still believe talent-wise, when we play B+ or higher football, we can beat anybody. Because there's not glaring things where we just can't do something. It's how well we can do something. Like Arizona, for example, even when James Conner comes back, they really struggle running the ball, between the tackles. Like that's not their thing. But what Cliff Kingsbury does, because got to give credit to Cliff, good coaching yesterday, 4-minute drill at the end of the game for Arizona, they don't even go to that. They run the ball outside. And that's where my frustration comes in with the defense and Dan Quinn and these guys, right? Some of our better players across the board didn't play well yesterday. Trayvon Diggs gets beat right off the tap by A.J. Green, double move. Arizona's basically giving away anytime they're doing any type of deep shots because A.J. Green's really the only real vertical threat they have unless they're running Christian Kirk on a deep crosser since Rondell Moore, Hopkins, these guys aren't there. So it's limited weapons for them, and they're still able to isolate guys. Trayvon, everybody knows, hey, we got the 11 picks, and, people out here that are all of a sudden world-class cornerback coaches and trainers and understand the nuances to playing corner and all that are so critical of Trayvon Diggs. Well, here you go. Finally had the bad game with no interception to back it up. So if that's what you guys are looking for to nitpick on him, have at it. But I will say this. Defensively, one of the problems is they are struggling in situational things. And this is something I said a few weeks ago, and I got some pushback from folks. When we play the better quarterbacks, we can get diced up defensively. We're not perfect. We're very good. We get turnovers. We get pass rush. We get pressure on the quarter. We got pressure on Kyler Murray yesterday. We had Kyler Murray playing off his back foot a lot of times. We had Kyler Murray having to throw the football away. So I'm not saying that they're ineffective, but what I am saying is they can be carved up. Anthony Brown can be targeted. Jordan Lewis can be targeted. These aren't elite cover guys. Everybody's got holes in the league, by the way. There's guys on Arizona that we probably could have picked on a little bit more on their secondary, as well as some of those guys played. But it's all about, highlighting your strengths and masking your weaknesses. That's just football 101. Again, shout out to Arizona and how they handled this game. Mike McCarthy, your football team allowed a fake punt on 4th and 2. Nahshon Wright gets mossed into oblivion by some rando, and we lose a possession offensively, right? That's like a turnover. Mike McCarthy, we have to blow our timeout because Cliff Kingsbury tricks you and Bones with the whole Kyler Murray and Matt Prater out there at the same time on a conversion. And everybody's freaking out. These are things we got to get cleaned up heading into the playoffs. These are things, the margins are so thin. And listen, these games, it's January. All these games are going to be ugly, Cowboys fans. Rams-Ravens was ugly. It's, are you winning? That's why I was not freaking out like everybody else when we were winning ugly the last 4 weeks, except for the Washington game, because that's what you have to do at the end of the season. It's the NFL. These teams know each other very, very well, even the bad teams. Look at Bucks Jets. You got to win ugly at this point in the year. So I'm not upset about that. But my thing is, when you have close margins and you're going to be in 3-point, 6-point football games, we've got to put ourselves in an advantage the way Arizona did. And a lot of times it's just not beating yourself. So this team, I think Mike McCarthy right now is just better at coaching them up from an underdog perspective than from a perspective of playing as a favorite. But we've got to see better from him. Got to see better from our quarterback, Dak Prescott, Kellen Moore, across the board. Everybody. This is, guys, I'll end here. It's a team loss. This is a team loss, but it's not time to panic. Hopefully, this is the time where people can galvanize, get on the same page. We played bad football and we were close. It's one way to look at it. So I'm not panicking. But my concern is that we get into the playoffs and we lose a game 30-27 because we didn't learn from the mistake we made a couple weeks ago or about last month or how we've lost some of these games. Some of these games, because again, we are 11-5. Everybody told me before the season we were an 8-win football team. People told me the Giants were going to win the division. The same division that we're now not allowed to be dominant of, according to the media. So take things with a grain of salt and really dive into these position groups and analyze what's happening, what's reality, and what's being pushed as a narrative, right? There's some Cowboys fans too that are pushing this stuff too, right? And so I don't listen to that. I look at this team. I root for this team. I know what they're capable of. I know they can beat anybody in the NFL. I know they can play with anybody in the NFL. I also know they can beat themselves at any moment given time. So that's the reality that I'm looking at and how I'm auditing and assessing this team. Hit me in the comments with your thoughts on the game. Hit me in the comments with anything else I may have missed or big key points you guys want to touch on so we can discuss. But I am, it's not, sky's not falling. Lost to a good quarterback yesterday. Our guy got torn up, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Guys, follow me on TikTok so we can get some of these TikToks going and grow that platform. I got 11,000 subscribers here. Want to see some people transferring over to TikTok as well, following, as well as subscribing here. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed yet, don't see why you shouldn't subscribe. Stay up to date with all the notifications, as well as thank you to busr.com/fanatic. Hit us up there. Take advantage of the Sports 100 FP promo. Guys, I thank you so much. We'll be back with more content, and I'll have more back and forth with another fellow Cowboys fan as we get ready for the playoffs. Peace.